Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bourbon Basement. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Steve.
and hopefully everything went okay last episode, but we're going to jump right into this one. Happy Friday, another week down. Hopefully everyone had a great week.
It's Family Friday.
It's technically my Thursday, but we'll be happy that it's Friday.
You gotta go in tomorrow.
It is Friday for most people, so thank you all for celebrating the start of your weekend with us. Today we're going to be doing something that I'm personally a little bit excited about.
What are you so
Uh,
excited?
We're going to be doing Kentucky Nectar, and this is a different one than what we normally would do. It is a cask finish, which we'll get into when we go a little more in depth about the bourbon. But the cask that it's finished in is something that I'm very intrigued in, and I'm curious as to how much it's actually going to change.
It's kind of in the name, right?
Yeah,
Kentucky Nectar.
nectar. So you probably get a pretty good idea of what exactly it's finished in. But when we actually dive into the bourbon a little more, we'll unveil all of that. But Kentucky Nectar is going to be our bourbon of choice for tonight's episode.
This is a pretty hard bottle to come by, too.
You don't see them around.
You don't see them around.
I've never had it.
I don't know that they're officially allocated, but there's not a lot of
Very elusive, to say the
them.
least.
And at MSRP, it's $100 bottle. I don't know how much the secondary market runs or anything like that. I was lucky enough to get this at MSRP at the liquor barn. So that was pretty good.
So it is out there. We just don't know how often it's.
It was on their allocated counter one day when I went in there, and I was lucky enough to grab it. I've seen it since at the superstore there by New Riff. If you haven't watched that New Riff episode, I suggest you go back and watch it. We talk more about that. You better watch your hand gestures.
I'm facing up now. So the inside joke between that, the hand gestures. For those of you who didn't tune into the last episode when we tried out our brand new setup and everything, we have a motion censored camera that we can do special things with. And when we did our episode about the September Bourbon Haul, if you've not watched that, I suggest that you do it. It is under the videos tab and not the live stream tab of our channel. But we had to do some editing to that because we had a little bit of a mishap. I think father over here did like a gesture with his hand one way or another, and it picked up on him, and it started following him. It zoomed in on our faces. It was a mess there for about.
So if you all see me talking and I'm standing here like this, because I'm a hand talker, right?
You just have to know what gestures you can make and what you can't make. You cannot hold your hand out.
I didn't realize I made a hand gesture that would have affected the camera.
Oh, it did though. So
I may have my hands in my pocket a lot.
We were gonna leave it in. That would have made the episode like 37 minutes long, and it would have been most of us just looking like fools.
That was the September haul, right?
I said that already.
Well, excuse me.
I said that was in our September Bourbon Haul video that we made. That was in the video.
We just made the video.
It was posted last night.
Okay, guys, and we just made it a couple of days ago.
So if you haven't watched it and you want to see what all the Bourbon Basement got throughout the month of September, spoiler alert, it was a big one. So if you want to go check it out, I highly recommend it.
And I usually like to do the videos just like a live, except we don't go live. But I like to leave everything in there, but we had to do a little bit of editing.
That one needed some editing. So we cut about 13 minutes out of that video, I think.
It was mostly laughing and stuff, though, because we had a good time. We had a good time doing it.
It was fun. Anyway, though, Friday Bourbon Basement live stream, Kentucky Nectar.
Yeah, pour yourself a drink, guys, right? Let's go ahead and get that bourbon rolling. This show's always better when you all are drinking, and we're here to be your drinking buddies.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. A little bit of history on Kentucky Nectar, right? So when you start with Kentucky Nectar, everybody's like, "Oh, what is it?" and everything else. Well, I'm going to tell you where it comes from first, and it comes from the Old Commonwealth Distillery. All right. Now, if you haven't heard of the Old Commonwealth Distillery, don't feel bad.
Not a lot,
because that's a lot of history that goes back too. So it started out as the Hoffman Distillery, and that was all the way back in 1889. All right, 1889, Anderson County, the Hoffman Distillery. A lot of history went on at the Hoffman Distillery with other bourbons, other history, and everything else. I'm not going to start with all that because this is the Old Commonwealth Distillery. So
if we went all the way back, this would be longer.
It would be longer, and that may affect other bourbons because there's other bourbons we haven't done a show on, and I'll talk about those older
associated with.
Yes. So this one is the Old Commonwealth Distillery, and I'm going to jump all the way. So that 1889 is when it was built. I'm gonna jump all the way to 1983.
So almost 100 years later.
Yes, almost. So what's special about 1983? And if you all are some bourbon history buffs, 1983. Uh, I think it's a pretty sad day in bourbon history, but 1983 is when Diego took over Stitzel Weller and kind of the Van Winkle uh, family legacy with
Began.
Stitzel Weller. No, stop.
Oh, stopped.
It
Sorry.
stopped.
Flip flop.
So they didn't have association with Stitzel Weller for the first time in their family's history because that's where it all kind of started was through that. So that was kind of sad, but that was 1983. So when Diego took over that distillery, they wanted to sell the aging barrels that was there. So this is the Van Winkle family's barrels that they made. Well, Julian Van Winkle III, the grandson of Pappy, he wanted to purchase those barrels. And in doing so, he needed a place to produce their new bourbon. They weren't getting it through they weren't didn't have the Stitzel Weller label anymore. So if you all remember, was it the Van Winkle episode that I did where we talked about Old Rip and all that? Okay, that's when the Old Rip Van Winkle label started. Was Julian Van Winkle and his dad? They got the Old Rip, and that's what they started creating. And they started buying those aging barrels that they made Stitzel Weller. Well, now they needed a place to bottle these Old Rip barrels, and they ended up going and buying in Anderson County the Hoffman Distillery, which had been closed down forever, right? All right. So they went and bought that in 1983. And that's where they bottled their Old Rip bourbon until another kind of historic date in bourbon history, 2002. So they used the Hoffman Distillery. When he bought the Hoffman Distillery, he changed the name to Old Commonwealth Distillery or Commonwealth Distillery. Old Commonwealth, I think it's Old Commonwealth Distillery. Uh, but he changed the name to that. So he bottled the Old Rip there at the Old Commonwealth Distillery. You are so quiet. I am really being
I'm
distracted
just
by your
listening.
quietness.
I don't always have to chime in. See, some people actually do come for the history, so maybe my smart remarks.
I think the history is even better with your smart remarks. Anyway, so
Sorry for letting you have the floor.
the distraction of Ryan by not saying
My
anything.
distraction by not being a distraction
It's more
is more of a
distracting.
distraction. How does that make any sense?
Anyway, so he changed the name to Old Commonwealth Distillery. He used that from 83 to 2002 to bottle the Old Rip Van Winkle and the labels that they were creating. They had more family labels like that until 2002 when Buffalo Trace and Julian Van Winkle III, they got to their agreement to where Buffalo Trace was going to make their products, right? Because Stitzel Weller was done with them.
It worked out better for everyone, I think.
So now that's all being done at Buffalo Trace. Well, so he closed down the old Commonwealth Distillery in 2002, and it sat vacant and boarded up until 2024.
Oh wow! And it
I
was
think,
just a
no,
land.
20. I'm sorry, 2019.
Okay, so it was
2019.
basically just a historical landmark up to that point.
Well, and then it sat there until 2019 vacant. In 2019, and the names and stuff elude me, so I'm just going to go with.
See, look, you do have a history lover in here.
All right, well,
yeah,
good.
See, love the history.
Thank you all. I love the history.
Like I said, love the history, fellas. I don't have no history. I ain't got no history.
You import it. Well, so now in 2019, an uncle and a nephew. So that's like you and Jim Boy.
All right, Gene Boy, that's our cue. That's our sign.
And a family friend decided they wanted to buy the old Commonwealth Distillery, open it back up, and their goal was to produce labels that went along with the history of that distillery. So they're going to go all the way back to 1889, the old Hoffman Distillery, and try to pull the unused labels that somebody else ain't making and start those bourbons up again. All right.
I wonder how you get around that legality.
Well, maybe when they purchased it, they purchased the rights to all that as well, except for, of course, the old rip and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like there's a lot of loopholes in that
So,
situation.
well, they bought it in 2019. They kept it as the Commonwealth Distillery, right? And then in 2024, they released their first releases, and that was Old Commonwealth 10-year. So I don't even have that bottle. And the Kentucky Nectar. That's their first two releases, and those are released in 2024. So if you haven't heard of Kentucky Nectar,
Why, why did you have to accent the H's on that? You haven't.
you haven't.
It's probably not even going to pick up on the mic, but it was almost like a wheeze in the H's.
It may not. But if you haven't heard of it, that's why. It hasn't been around for decades. It's been around for a couple of years at the max. And when it's first released, when the first batch of this come out, it was so successful
So how'd they get
that it's kind of become a big time thing.
how'd they get the 10-year?
There's your question. So they opened in
They've
19.
only been
Are
open
they
for 5 years.
distilling or are they distilling at Old Commonwealth Distillery? No. They are sourcing their bourbons and aging their bourbons. Now,
Is it
when they
temporary? Do we know if they are making their own
their
stuff?
plans are to start making, from what I read, they haven't distilled anything yet. They're just a sourcer right now. They source and age. So they'll grab some young barrels, and maybe they're aging some young barrels at the distillery right now. They also grab some mature barrels, and they're already bottled.
Well, it makes me even more excited for this because I know everyone has their own opinion on the sources and stuff, and how it makes more.
Sources are hard when they're not. When the distillery doesn't tell you who they source from, it's hard to figure out.
It's hard to figure out. So I know everyone has their own opinion on that kind of stuff, and everyone, whether you like the source kind of stuff or don't, because I know that it adds more. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. It adds more background to what you're drinking. It lets you think about how it was actually made and what's going
Well,
through it.
if you go through the distillery, and the distillery has a lot of history,
It makes you
kinda
appreciate
sets
what you're
with me.
drinking a little more. But I will say we have had some fantastic source bourbons on this show thus far.
We have. Now, I've had some. We've got a ringing going on.
We're not
here
going to hear
somewhere.
that. My Apple Watch is ringing over here in the corner, believe it or not.
All right, so we have a statement from Old Commonwealth. They source bourbons from established, reputable Kentucky distilleries. And
That
it
doesn't
didn't
narrow
say
it down.
it didn't say anything about going out of Kentucky. It said reputable Kentucky distilleries.
That narrows
And
it down.
everything they have is Kentucky bourbons so far. So just some kind of confirmed sources that I did in my research there. Green River is a confirmed source that they source from. Barton's.
Gerald Ronnie, appreciate the subscription to the YouTube channel, sir. Welcome to the
Awesome.
Bourbon Basement.
Thank you, man. That's great. So Green River, Barton's, and Wilderness Trail. Now, if you look up the mash bill for Kentucky Nectar, it's a wheated bourbon. All right, and Wilderness Trail puts out a 64 corn, a 24 wheat, and a 12 malted barley mash bill recipe on their wheated bourbon. And guess what the mash bill on this one is?
Probably the exact same.
64, 24, and 12.
I mean,
So I'm going to guess this is definitely distilled at Wilderness Trail.
And I don't know, have I had any of theirs?
Wilderness Trail, we had a bottled and bond Wilderness Trail, and we had another Wilderness.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know if we did a show on those yet.
What did that look like? What did that bottle look
Show him a bottle there. Producer release. Our producer will show
like? I
you.
think that I'm getting it confused with Chestnut Hills for some reason. And that's the horse.
Wilderness Trail's the short square bottle. It's a shorter square kind of bottle.
Let's see. Well, while we're looking for that,
We have one back here.
I don't know. So many bottles here.
You'll see it. You'll see it eventually. It ain't that big of a deal. I thought it was over here on one of the lower shelves.
There's just so much going on.
All right, so let's get back to Kentucky Nectar.
Old Pirate Bourbon, cheers to you as well. Appreciate you tuning into the stream.
Awesome. Has anybody had the Kentucky Nectar before? If you have any batch that you've had, let me know.
Don't give us no spoilers or anything, but did you like it and have you had it?
Because this is batch number 2. This is batch number 2. I think they're on batch number 3 now, so this may have been there's your Wilderness Trail product. And I believe this is the Wilderness Trail.
I don't remember having this.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had the bottled in bond.
We don't need to advertise these too much because we're not 100% sure that that's what's in this.
We don't know. It's unconfirmed what the
It
source
is just putting two and two together.
Just how so happens this is the same mash bill as that.
Which is not an uncommon thing in bourbon. A lot of them do have the same mash bills.
Now, so when they do get a sourced bourbon like that, they buy the barrels, right? Now, they could buy the barrels. They could take them straight to their place, and they could dump them and bottle them. Or they could buy the barrels. They could have Wilderness Trail do it. But Old Commonwealth does it themselves. So they could buy the barrels. They may age them at their place for a year or two. And you'd be surprised the different location where it ages, how much different the bourbon is in the. It all depends on, it depends on the elevation. It depends on temperature. It depends on all that stuff.
I think there are more variables in distilling and aging bourbon than I think I could think of anything else in the world.
There is, and you'd be surprised how one barrel setting here and this barrel setting here
tastes completely different.
Are completely different. Aged the same that's why there's a lot of they blend. That's why they have big batches and blend to get a consistent flavor. Because if you were, I'm a fan favorite of single barrels. Because I think when you find a single barrel that is that, I better put my hands in here.
I was about to say,
that is that good that it tastes the way you want it without adding any other more bourbon to it. That's pretty incredible. So I'm a fan of single barrels, but I understand why they have to put 100 barrels in a batch or 500 barrels in a batch.
I'm a cask strength guy. Everyone ought to
know that. Well, then you're going to like this. So this is Kentucky NECTAR. It's Kentucky straight bourbon finished in honey cask. Honey cask.
In case you didn't get the nectar part.
This is batch number 2. It's 107 proof. Now, the honey cask, I've never had any bourbon finished in a honey cask yet. Have you?
No. You don't have to stop talking just because I'm showing a bottle.
But I was letting you have the floor at that, Mr. Vanna.
But I wasn't saying anything.
Well, Mr. Vanna had the floor. So I've never had a honey cask. I'm a little bit excited. I'm a little bit wondering how it actually does it put honey?
I think if we don't taste honey in this, I might be a little bit surprised, but I think it's going to make it sweet.
Well, I'm also a little bit concerned. I know this is a bourbon. For the rules of bourbon, you cannot add anything to bourbon. So you can't add honey to bourbon and it still be a bourbon. So what they've done is they've aged the bourbon in a charred oak, American oak barrel, right? They've aged the bourbon in a charred American oak barrel. Then most honey, if you read about aging honey, which I did because I was doing this episode.
We're going to be beekeepers.
If you age honey in a barrel, it's usually a used whiskey barrel. And they do that to pull whiskey flavors out in honey, and then they sell it as a honey aged in a whiskey barrel. So when people that have their honey,
I don't think I've ever had that.
I haven't either. But when people do that with their honey, then they age it in whiskey. They put that in a used whiskey barrel. Okay, so that ages it. So now you're taking an aged honey that's aged in a whiskey barrel. I don't know how thick and hard honey is. You get all that out before you put the bourbon in. Because if there's honey in there, that's an additive, right? So it has to be cleaned.
Technically, you could burn it off.
But is any staying in the barrel then to actually do anything to this bourbon?
You could literally char a used whiskey barrel or a used bourbon barrel, and you'll never get all the bourbon out of it.
So they've taken a used honey barrel or a used whiskey barrel with honey in it. They've dumped the honey. They've cleaned it out, somehow got it all out of there. And then they dump bourbon into that barrel and let that age longer. No age statement, by the way, so I don't know how long any of this was.
I'm guessing 4.
I don't know. And how long does it stay in the honey cask?
It's at least 2. We know that.
Yeah, it's Kentucky straight. We know it has to be at least 2. So, but this is going to be exciting. Am I going to taste a lot of honey, or did they have to clean the barrel or burn the barrel or whatever?
We're going to taste chemicals,
and I'm not going to get any honey at all.
We're going to taste.
All right. One thing I know I'm going to get is 24% wheat. This may be the highest bourbon that I've had wheat-wise. At 24%. So 64 corn, 24 wheat.
I don't know. We've had some high wheat content.
I'd have to look. I'd have to do some research.
If
We
anyone
got a
knows,
lot of empty bottles over there.
if anyone knows if we've had more than 24 or equal to 24, let us know because we have lost track.
Well, I mean, we drank the Wilderness Trail before. Just don't remember if we did a show on it.
I feel like we would have.
We've
Anyway,
done a ton of shows, guys. You know, we have over 50 shows now. We've been doing this over a year.
just over.
And that's live shows. We have more than 50 live episodes. And
Thanks for
then
sticking around this long.
we have a lot of videos too that are some are good, some aren't. But watch them all anyway.
I don't know if any of our content's good. You all be the judge of that.
Well, this is good because I love it.
This is fine.
I love this. I love having you here on Fridays with me. I love drinking bourbon. I love them tuning in, drinking bourbon
We're
with
making
us.
new friends.
That's right. We just got a new subscriber.
We did.
First one on our live show.
I think I pronounced his name Gerald Ramen. I said Romney or something like that.
Well, he
Ramen.
probably unsubscribed. Right?
I
He
did.
messed his name up.
I butchered.
Sorry.
It was hard
Sorry.
to see.
Sorry,
You
you
butchered it.
give
I
him
did
another
butcher
shot. Give him another shot. Let's pour some bourbon, man.
I did. Yeah, go ahead. If you all haven't already, we did invite you to go ahead and pour a drink at the beginning of the show. But if you have not already, go ahead and pull your Kentucky Nectar honey cask down. Go ahead and pull your favorite bottle down off the shelf, just your daily drinker. Heck, get some Wells going. That was a good cork pop, by the way. I still don't think that the cork pops are working on the microphones, but we are
No.
we're making a mess. First of all, is what we're
If
doing.
we have a sound man out there, I know.
Love it, informative and entertaining. See, look, we do have some support.
Nice.
At least a couple of them.
If,
God bless you all.
if a sound man out there knows what kind of mic that I can get that will let you hear my awful laugh. Here you go, producer.
Yeah, because for those of you who are new and maybe watching for the first time, when we laugh, it looks like we're mimes.
Yeah, I am not a silent laugher. I don't laugh like
And I said
I
that
really
it's
laugh.
probably for the best because I know that both of us can laugh extremely obnoxiously sometimes, and I just don't think that that would be very pleasant on the listener's ears. But I think it may be for the better. But
no, it's not.
Right.
I want to be able to hear the cork,
anyway,
and I want that laugh.
this has a fantastic smell right off the bat.
Okay.
This is deep. Like this is very deep sweetness. I do get honey. I get butterscotch, maple. Then the spices come through on the back end of the nose.
I'm no spice at all. I'm in a field of wildflowers.
I was gonna
smell.
say floral as well a little bit.
I smell a field of wildflowers, and I do smell the honey.
I can see the bees pollinating as we speak. Have you all ever watched the Bee Movie? I know that some of these people may be a little bit older that watch and may not have the cartoonish movies under their repertoire, but there's this movie called the Bee Movie, and it basically it shows a big field of flowers and stuff, and the bees like flying over, populating. I'm imagining that in my head right now.
It's crazy. We went from some honey, some Kentucky nectar to the bee.
Well,
I mean, it's not completely random. It's on the same spectrum.
Well, bees, yeah, and honey.
yes.
But speaking of movies,
I could have said, "Oh yeah, there's this one World War II movie that happened to have a bee floating around in it." Like I could have done that.
speaking of movies, classic, 1996.
Look, that's a great movie. I know it's a great movie, and it had every bit. Honestly, it had every bit of right to be included in this conversation.
It did. I agree.
All right,
Let's
go ahead. I'm gonna
movies.
go start.
We
Acting.
got a movie night tonight coming up with the 1996 classic, sixth classic, Ken.
Get back to this.
All right. Sorry, we'll get back.
While you're getting your first acclamation,
It's so
Um,
sweet.
we're not supposed to judge, and I'm not going to do any spoilers about what I'm tasting thus far, but I'm very pleased with just the first acclamation sip. That's all. That's all I can say until we get into the actual third sip and our actual judgment of it, or not judgment, just
Rating.
yeah,
They-
our breakdown.
If you go on the tours and stuff, guys, we've talked this on our earlier episodes. We used to talk you all through it. We don't say much about it anymore, but on the tours and stuff, they ask you to take one or two sips to get your palate acclimated
I was told that I
before
was
you
too
start.
repetitive saying in every episode.
before you start judging it. So that's all we try to do is we try to get really acclimated to it. And I didn't pregame tonight, so I'm having to acclimate to this one. It's got a little bit of heat. That
I
107.
disagree. I don't think that it takes much at all.
A little bit.
Like even being a 107, I mean,
It's got a
I have had
tingle.
90 proofs that feel hotter than this.
It's got a little tingle.
It's very enjoyable. How many of you had? Look at
I'm on my second.
You all probably can't see them, but
It's got some nice tears.
it does. It may be older than a 4-year-old bourbon.
If it's not older than a 4 year, then they've done something very correct.
Yeah, I think it's older. Either that or it's the thickness of that honey coming out.
All right, well, I'm acclimated. He's acclimated. If you want to go ahead and do your third and start going to town on some kind of. So, right now, what we're doing is our third sip while he's doing this. Third sip is where we actually start trying to go through and pull out flavors rather than just getting used to the burn and the intensity in some senses, if you will, of the bourbon itself. What are we getting?
All right. So
Sweet.
I was worried that the barrel wouldn't come through. I was worried that you were going to get a lot of just a pure sweetness. Not as sweet as I thought it was going to be, which I love. I get a lot of sweetness. I get honey for sure. You're going to get honey out of this one.
It's so well balanced.
But the barrel comes through in a way that it shocked me. The barrel is there, and I'm an oaky barrel kind of guy. I love the barrel flavors
See?
in there and that char.
I'm telling you, they could have torched it to get that excess honey out.
They may have been a char 4 or something. I don't know, but I get that sweet right on the tongue at the beginning. Get that oaky barrel taste, and then it finishes with a little bit of spiciness and a little bit of heat. Uh, and I love it because it's just kind of a smooth changes as it goes back your tongue.
I'm gonna be honest,
It's
guys.
good.
I'm
You want a little? Is that enough for water?
uh
Here, I got our thing for water right here to try it
yeah,
with
it'll
water.
be all right. I'm a little bit in awe right now, just because treaty kind of bourbons rather than completely savory
Kind of a dessert after dinner.
ish. But I feel like I could drink those at any point. I feel like I could drink those with dinner, with a steak. I feel like I could drink them for dessert. I feel like I could drink them just to drink them. Just
Well, the last couple of months, I've seen my palate changing, wanting a more non-sweet bourbon. I want that more rustic.
I could see
bourbon.
this with a cigar as well. Like that's just. I think it's a. What's the word I'm looking for?
And
It's a. What's the word I'm looking for? You're supposed to help me
I
out.
don't know. I don't smoke cigars.
It's versatile. It's a versatile.
It's a versatile bourbon. It can be with dinner. It can be for dessert.
Out.
I'm sorry. Gosh. You said something about it being really sweet, and see, I guess in my mind I had it so sweet with the honey that it's not that sweet to me.
See, if you overhype yourself to think it's going to be like you're eating a piece of candy, you'll probably think that it's not sweet.
Yeah. So a couple of days from now, if I come back to this, maybe I'll get a whole new, different experience. But this experience is fantastic. I love the way it is.
Well, I get, of course, honey. I think everyone's going to get honey out of this. If you've tried bourbon and you actually try to pull flavors out of it, you're getting honey out of this. I'm kind of sticking true to the nose, though. I still get the honey, the butterscotch, maple, a little bit of cooking spice in there. It's very subtle, though. And the oakiness comes through way more than what I ever would have thought.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's present. Like, it's very present.
I'm not getting all those flavors that you're getting. I'm getting the honey, which I like.
I'm not getting the floral.
Oh, I didn't
Not
get
getting
any
any
floral. The smell is so floral to me. I don't get the taste. Maybe with the water it'll change. I don't know
But
either.
the past few that I've tried, I'm going to be honest with you, it's actually drank
No.
pretty true with and without the water. Oh,
I've already put water in it. Yes.
Dang, he's trying to sabotage me.
No. I think it made it smell more sweet with water. It took a lot of the floral notes away.
A lot of butterscotch now.
It took a lot of the floral away from me. I'm more towards just honey and caramel.
That's like a Butterfinger.
This is a good with that honey. I thought it was going to be crazy sweet, crazy, just overwhelming honey. Without the water, for me, it's like a classic bourbon should taste. It's really good. That honey makes it. If they didn't put it in a honey barrel, I don't know that it would be very good.
I
But
wouldn't necessarily say that. We don't know
Being
what was
aged
in it
in a
before the
honey barrel, I know I'd like to taste it, but That's because I don't know if the honey's done anything, but it tastes like bourbon should taste to me. It's incredible.
Butterscotch comes through for me so much with water in it. Butterscotch, the oakiness dies down just a hair. It's still very present, but I even get cinnamon coming through with the water in it, and then of course the honey's still there. You can't get rid of it. The oakiness is still there, honey's still there. Butterscotch really comes through, and I get a hint of cinnamon. I mean, this is a treat.
What did you get in? Did it change with the water?
Yeah, I didn't get cinnamon before. I said the butterscotch came out a lot more than what it did before.
With my water drink, it's heightened the sweetness.
I don't think that I don't think it killed the sweetness in it. I don't think it made
No.
it any. There's no savoriness to this.
It
other than
lessened it lessened the barrel
I
for
said
me.
the same.
Okay, that it heightened the sweetness for me,
I said
and
the
I
same
do
thing.
get a little bit of the
Well,
cinnamon and the honey that you were talking
I'm not gonna say that height.
about.
You know what? You know what?
It's good both ways.
You pour another sip and think of that's how I roll from Cold Stone when you're drinking it. That is spot on.
That's how I roll.
I was gonna say.
They even make that one anymore,
Oh, yeah.
Cold Stone.
It's a retired signature, but they still know how to make it.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with Cold Stone? You find the ones you like, and then 2 months later you go in there and it's not there anymore.
I'm not kidding you guys. If you all know what I'm talking about, if you've ever been to Cold Stone, I know that there's some people watching from out of state, out of Kentucky, and I know that that's not present everywhere. But there is a creamery here, a Cold Stone Creamery. It's an ice cream shop, and they have all kinds of like signature collections and stuff. And they will put different ingredients in these. Like I think the That's How I Roll has caramel, honey, yellow cake, cinnamon, pecans, and cake batter ice cream. Is that not spot on? Oh my
Everything you just
gosh!
named right there, I'm like, yep.
That's
Yep,
how I
yep.
roll in a bourbon.
I was gonna say
You was
banana.
naming off those ingredients, and I was thinking,
It's incredible.
yep,
I was
yep.
thinking of banana Foster.
It's
You like,
incredible.
well, that's got a lot of caramel.
Yeah.
It
Producer
might
says banana Fosters, and
it
that's
might
got a lot of
compare.
caramel.
Banana.
So did you get bananas?
I did.
Okay, you
It
got a
might be like
bananas.
your old
Banana caramel.
banana caramel crunch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not getting banana though, but that's how I
Well, you know
roll.
what both of those had in it was cake batter ice cream.
Mhm.
So the yellow cake and the cake batter ice cream, I think that does come through
Maybe.
here. I wouldn't have thought of that if you didn't say that, right?
It's incredible how spot on it is.
It is pretty good. And that's a big time dessert, like my favorite.
This is incredible. I did that
Except for the cherry
cherry
cake
cake double take. Cherry
That
cake
was
double
a
take.
retired one. They don't even have it. Nobody knows how to make it anymore.
Well, it was so old. Though That's How I Roll was ordered so much, and it only got retired a couple years ago.
I think it was just because they had to get rid of the black cherries because it had black cherries in it, and then they went to those.
Maraschinos.
Yes, they went to those cherries, and it wasn't the same. So
It's
I
not.
like those in a
Um,
drink, but not in my ice cream.
this guys, if you've not had the opportunity to get this, that's a win. That
This
is
is
a
a good
win of a
drink.
bourbon.
This is a good drink. We've kind of talked,
And that's not.
to,
I know that I said like spoiled it and said that I was super excited to try this. I'm not being biased. This is a fantastic drink. And if you haven't had a That's How I Roll from Cold Stone, try this and then go get a That's How I Roll and compare it. It is so uncanny, the resemblance.
I think this is the only honey cask finished bourbon that I have in the bourbon basement.
I'd have more.
Well, this one is Kentucky bourbon. I know that Short Barrel makes one they call the Bee's Knees.
The Bee's Knees.
The Bee's Knees.
Isn't that
It's
a
made
band?
from Short Barrel, but I don't know
Oh, Bees G's. That's what it was.
BGs. Not the
The
Bees.
Bees G's. No, I think it's a spoof band that's called the Bees G's or the G's Bees.
Oh man,
You get,
I don't know.
yeah, I think it's the G's Bees.
On rock bands.
Yeah.
Rock bands really. Okay. Anyway, so Short Barrel makes one that I know, but I just haven't found the bottle to see if it is a Kentucky bourbon or not.
Staying alive. Hey, someone got it. Someone got it.
Uh, anyway, I will be looking for some more Kentucky bourbons that are finished in some honey cask
I'm a fan of that.
because
Big fan.
that is a really
I
good
might
bourbon.
need to try some honey, just like some regular honey that's been aged in a whiskey barrel.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do that. I was gonna say honey's under.
No, we got honey down here. We got
It may be
well,
dry, but
it's gone to sugar a little bit, but we do have some honey.
put that in the microwave.
Yeah.
All right.
It never. Fun fact, guys. This is the only food that never goes bad.
See, you are part of history.
This is the only food that will never go bad. It will last way longer than we're ever alive. All you have to do is slap it back in the microwave, and it's like it just came out of the jar fresh.
All right, let's give
If
this
we're
a
talking non-processed
Oh,
foods, I know there's some other things that could probably last forever.
I want to say happy birthday to my father. It's his birthday actually today.
Today,
And then yesterday, we celebrated my sister-in-law's birthday with an incredible meal and some drinks. And at the bar, I had two drinks that I'd never had before. I had a round one. That's a local distillery, Lexington, Kentucky. Some kind of Brazilian. I didn't look at the label real well. And then I had a French oak, and the French oak was pretty incredible. So that
we've
was
had a
good one.
couple of French oak.
Yeah. So round one. But shout out to the birthdays. And next week, our producer has a birthday.
We got a lot of spooky season birthdays.
So next week, we'll be celebrating a birthday, and the show won't be on Friday.
Yes, we're well. What are you talking about? Other shows? We haven't even ranked this thing yet.
I know, but I wanted to put that out there before I got, and I wanted to get the shout outs for the
Don't hold your
birthday.
hands up. Don't do it. We can't fix it if we're live. We're just gonna have to suck it up, and they're gonna have to laugh at us. Don't do it.
I'm fine with
We
that.
got to experiment more before we do anything like that.
Is that
So,
all I was going to say?
Next Saturday is going to be when the live show is. I don't know if I'll be present for that. I do have plans next weekend, so I don't know what the exact outcome of that is going to be. But it might be a solo show, so he might need some help in the
Well,
chat.
we'll do it Saturday at 8:00 instead of Friday at 6. It's going to be Saturday at 8. And
Eastern Standard Time.
Saturday Eastern Standard Time, and Ryan will send out a notification
on Friday
on
to
Friday,
let you know that we're not live that night,
letting everybody know the change. So, but if you watch this episode, you're going to know the change.
Anyway,
and can I talk about that for a minute and give a shout out to my in-laws?
We're going to forget what it tastes like before we ever get to the
No, we already got it. No, I want to go ahead. So today, if you all live in Kentucky and you haven't been to the Kentucky Wool Festival, I don't know if anybody likes fall festivals and likes to walk around to like big yard sales.
They've got a lot of wool.
It's not a yard sale, it's new.
It's new stuff, but you know what I mean. It's like
It's
real
a
crafty
market.
stuff and everything else.
It's a
Anyway, I finally got my Blanton's holder that I'm going to use in the bourbon basement.
And it's not that we're going to use. Fun fact, again, about the bourbon basement now. We have every letter of Blanton's. There's just a couple bottles that we would prefer not to open to get the topper.
And these are the only 3 that we emptied so far.
Yes.
Is these letters.
We've got one on
We've got the other letters. So it'll be full pretty soon whenever we drink those other bottles. But I want to thank my in-laws for my birthday gift.
Fairly early.
The barrel top with the Blanton's letters. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, let's rate this thing.
Go ahead.
All right. I like the proofage. I like the 107. I thought it drank 107 proof. You didn't.
What'd you say this price was?
It's $100. That's MSRP. It may be more on secondary market. I'm sure it is every time.
So you can get it at cost.
If you can get it for $100, it's worth it. I'm gonna tell you, it's worth it. I enjoyed it for $100. I'm not sad that I spent $100 on it. If
I would spend $100 on it next time.
If I find it again for $100, I'll buy it again. Really enjoyed this one. Beginner friendly, maybe not. It just depends on what kind of experience you want them to have. It's got a little bit of spicy notes on the finish that I thought, but I enjoyed. Like I said, it's like I think bourbon should taste. I get the oakiness with the sweetness, and then I get the spicier finish. Smooth, very good, easy drinker for me. And I'm going to give it an 8, a solid 8.
That's saying something coming from him. Like, I think he's only had a couple of 8s ever.
In our 50-some episodes?
Yeah, I think he's only had a couple that broke the 8 spectrum.
It's an 8. Solid.
Right. So I'm going to go on the same kind of lines as him. Extremely, extremely good. And that's not just because I've hyped myself up. I was looking forward to this one for a reason because I had high hopes for it. And I think it crossed every checkbox that I could possibly think of. Beginner friendly, I'm going to say price, no. Drinkability, depending on your experience. If you're new, it may drink like a 107. I personally didn't think so. So it's to each their own. It's an experiment, so I don't really know. what your experience is, but you'll probably enjoy this. I don't think it drank quite like a 107. I thought it was extremely smooth overall. I love the color of it. I love the taste of it. It was very enjoyable. I think, like I said, I could enjoy it with cigar, with dinner, just hanging around in the bourbon basement, just sipping on something, or dessert. I mean, it's very versatile, and I think that it could be used in a lot of different situations for your drinking pleasures. But all that being said, I think this has got to be a solid 8.8.
8.8.
8.8.
8.8. So an 8 and an 8.8. Does our producer have any kind of rating she wants to throw out?
I was thinking 7.8.
7.8. So she's just a little bit. She's just a little lower than me. She likes them really, really like 180 proofs.
Yeah, but I do too. And this is just a great bourbon. Just
It is.
It was a good
It's. I'm shocked that being a honey cask, it's what I think of when I think of bourbon.
whatever Kentucky Nectar did, or whatever Old Commonwealth Distillery did,
The uncle with his nephew and family friend.
wherever they got the bourbon sourced from, and the way that they did it in the cask with the honey, out of bounds.
I'd keep
I
doing
mean,
it.
keep doing
I
it.
didn't have batch one. I heard really, really, really good reviews of batch one. Got batch two. I think batch three may be out now.
And this is one of the only two bourbons they have released right now. What a
Oh,
way to start!
Old Commonwealth, a 10-year.
What a way to start!
I read something about a 15-year that they've got. So they're
What a way
doing
to
a
start.
good job sourcing these bourbons, I think, right now. So go
That's all
Old
I can say.
Commonwealth
Keep it up.
Distillery and keep that up. So
Keep it up. That's it from us, guys. We already mentioned, once again, we're not going to be live next Friday. It's going to be next Saturday at 8. I may or may not be here, so he may need some company in the chat. So go ahead and, if you're able to
ramp
come,
up your comments.
please do. Appreciate all the new subs and stuff that we had, any new viewers that we've had. We do appreciate every bit of time that you all give us out of your Friday evenings, and we do enjoy kicking off the weekends with you all here in the Bourbon Basement. Hopefully you all enjoy it as much as we do.
I love having drinking buddies.
Love it. From our basement to yours. If you don't have a basement, then I don't just a fake.
It's like Santa Claus without a chimney.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime you pour bourbon, you're in the
Bourbon basement. Anyway, guys, before we get any more off track and I start talking about the B movie or something again, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. All that being said, guys, why drink alone
when you can drink with us?
We will see y'all next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hug tonight?
No.
Come on, that was a good one.
No.
All right. I'll settle for another warm Kentucky hug. Whew. Cheers, guys.